all
fascinating
stubborn because we're
sight
actually
and
enforcing
sound, by the
boundaries.
way,
The only
that I
people
think that
that
you can
benefit
see
off
on it.
of you having, the only
I've
people
never
that
been
get
Hawaii.
pissed
It's
by
on my
you putting
bucket
up
list.
Hi
I
boundaries
would love to see
get
it.
everybody,
benefited
how
from
y'all
never
It
having one.
doing?
looks like the opportunity for
Let them
folks
call us
traveling
stubborn.
tourists
Just
there,
like
but
there's a person here that does
Incredible.
not want
it
to.
is definitely amazing
This
to
is
watch,
like their
especially at
worst
night.
nightmare,
That
seeing you in
golden
your best
glow.
version.
from the lava.
Yes.
Awesome stuff
This
there, Michael.
person
Now,
likes to
the
instruct.
U.S. Army is marking a
Good
major
morning to
milestone this
everyone.
weekend,
How
celebrating
was everyone
250 years
doing?
of protecting America's freedom. Mother
Hope
Nature
you had
perhaps
sweet
threatening to
dreams.
rain
I
on the
did.
Army's parade, literally. We're
I
tracking
did.
showers and thunderstorms in the D.C. area today.
I hope
Fox News
everybody
correspondent
else
Rebecca
had
Castor
sweet
is
dreams
live in the
too.
nation's capital with more on the festivities. Rebecca, is this event going to go off come rain or shine?
Okay.
Hey, Jane. Well, yes, event officials are telling
Well,
us
what
as
little
long as
bit of
it's just
sleep I
right, things are
did
gonna go
get,
as scheduled. Lightning
I
is the only
basically,
thing that could cause some delays, but
it's like I have
later this morning, the U.S. Army is hosting a big birthday festival to celebrate
spells
250 years of service. It's the
of
oldest
insomnia.
military service in our country. We haven't made it inside just yet, but
You
inside there
know.
are Army tanks and helicopters that the public will be able to check
But
out, and they'll have meet and
it'll
greets
be
with
alright.
soldiers. That is the main purpose for the event today.
And we're going
For
to
the public
see
to know
what,
some of our fine men and women in uniform, learn about their experience, what they do, and maybe they'll even inspire some in the next generation to
we're
join
going
the
to
service
see
as well. But right now, we
what,
have cool temperatures. It's in the 70s. It's going to get pretty hot later today, going to get up to 80 degrees. And the main thing that the event officials are
y'all,
watching
I'm
for
learning
are
how
those
to wear
thunderstorms.
these,
Right now, it's looking
how to
like they'll
put
roll
these
in later
ponytails
tonight, maybe
in
after the
and
parade. The
everything.
parade
You know
rolls
I'm
at
not
6:30,
used
so
to it.
it's looking like those showers might be rolling in
So,
closer to 9 p.m.,
just
which is
bear
when the
with me,
fireworks show is
you know.
happening. So if there are any impacts from weather, it will likely be later tonight. But otherwise, we're in for a fun and really patriotic day here in D.C.
Let's see what the card has to
Is there
say.
a rain plan in the event that the lightning becomes a problem? Does this continue on perhaps through the day tomorrow, or is this kind of a one and done deal through tonight?
No, I have, you know, I have to, you know, I have to do my spread different. You know, I can't just
there is a contingency plan in place.
do them just one way, you know?
The hundreds of thousands of people that are coming to DC to be out here in the elements if there is lightning and thunderstorms later today. Of course, safety first. Great reporting. Looking forward to seeing it all unfold throughout the day today. Fox News national correspondent Rebecca Castor, thanks for the update there on the National Mall.
Seems like these comics,
heading down to DC, you can see that risk of weather impact here is at a medium, especially into the afternoon, but we'll see how things fare as we go throughout the rest of this evening.
they don't know which road to take now. They confused.
250th birthday. If you're a sports fan,
they don't know which road to take now.
Enjoy. We've got a lot happening this weekend. Action-packed. The U.S. Open continues in full swing from Oakmont Country Club in Plum, Pennsylvania.
Their wishes is
Scotty Scheffler can get his act together. It's been a bit of a difficult stretch
for
the
money.
last 2 days. Indianapolis, maybe
you know, they're wishing to have the good life.
You can see last month, about a month ago, we had the Indy 500,
but
and Indy car racing is once again
I have
for tomorrow. So let's kick things off with
Judgment.
the US Open at Oakmont Country Club. Risk of weather impact, it's slightly improved today. We
devil.
are down to a medium. We were at a high risk yesterday. So what that means for you is that, well, you know, we are going to perhaps see some improvements here.
The High Priestess.
Into the afternoon, perhaps breaks in the shower activity, some dry time. The ground is very wet though, but they have expert groundskeepers that are keeping everything nice and manicured. Getting into the day tomorrow, similar outlook, showers in the forecast. That boundary just keeps things unsettled. Let's jump things on over.
With this card I'm hearing.
We're keeping our eyes up
These cards I'm hearing.
Up at Fenway, we do have cooler temperatures, but the shower risk, it looks like it's trending down. The risk of weather impact is low here. We'll keep cloud cover in play, but let me tell you, you already saw a big
the devil is owing
in yesterday's games. The Nationals,
the High
the
Priestess
in Washington, D.C.
a lot of money.
Well, they had a 2-hour rain delay because of weather. We're just hoping that we can get
That's what I'm hearing with that.
this weekend. We can see them pulling the tarp out. across the field. And eventually, the game did go on.
Damn, I'm also hearing the High Priestess cause judgment
the Nationals and down there across
on these karmics.
So I'm not entirely sure who won this game. I have to look that up. But
And these
nonetheless, we have more
karmics,
games on the board. Philadelphia, another spot we're watching. Citizens Bank.
Nine of Swords. These karmics can't sleep.
In the mix as the first pitch is
Having nightmares.
this afternoon. Scattered showers, again, it's come and go. It's not going to be a
Seven of Swords.
Rain, but it could definitely have an impact on the field. We'll probably have
so basically,
early to start the day.
Nine of Pentacles
At Citizens Bank Park, and then we will hopefully get the game in. Risk of weather impact as we get past first pitch.
Nine of Cups.
Innings drops to low, but we're at a medium, perhaps
Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups.
And of course, you know, that could have an impact as we get into the day tomorrow as well. 1:35, but an earlier first pitch.
Okay.
In Philly, as they
let me do this bottom row over again so you can see the card.
Showing for Father's Day if you're heading out to the bank.
Nine of Swords.
Dad's heading out there. In the meantime, it's been 8 months since Hurricane Helene.
Seven of Swords.
And as the rebuilding process continues, so many families are still feeling
Nine
the
of
effects
Pentacles.
of all of that damage. Fox Weather's Robert Ray is in North Carolina with where the
Nine of
community is
Cups.
now in that recovery process.
As the days, weeks, months tick by,
Seven of Cups.
Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida and then swept up the coastline, eventually wreaking havoc on many states, including here.
Things are changing for
You know, it's
the
rivers
karmics.
like this all over this part of the country that literally
They're
blew up
at,
because
they're
of the
at the
amount of rain.
end of
3
their
to 4
cycle,
feet of rain,
okay?
pushing the rivers to
The cycle of having
situations that
all
have never seen
this.
before, at least not in recorded time.
Cycle of having all
Where I'm
this.
standing right now, this river building up
Like I said,
40 feet plus, breaking
I am
apart
hearing
train rail.
that
And you see the train
the
right
devil
there coming across.
is
And the
owing
tracks that
the
these
high
trains go
priest
on were
a lot of
ripped up
money.
and pushed by water. Think about that. Think about the power to move
The high priestess,
steel like what
the
you're
high
seeing
priestess
going by
even
right now.
turned them
And
in
then ripping apart homes and businesses. and
because they
taking the
can't
lives
sleep.
of
They
so
can't
many.
sleep at night. They're staying up, having nightmares
The Blue Ridge Mountains,
because
western North Carolina,
basically
an entire region devastated. Last
they was
September
getting
by
information.
Hurricane Helene.
They was
Thousands of
stealing
homes
from the high
completely
priestess.
destroyed, leaving families displaced and living in temporary
That's
shelters or
information.
Today, recovery efforts are in full force.
And they're not paying the high
In the
priest.
small town of Relief, North Carolina, on the Tow River, scenes like this are not uncommon.
You gotta talk to Nick.
That's what I'm getting.
He has the furniture
Dozens of aid groups flocked to
Now,
the region, trying to help. But one group, called We Must Protect, is making a real difference.
So this is, you'll see here, this bridge was completely taken out. That's new. Then they rebuilt that, and then you'll see some of the damage here and how far the water went out.
they don't know which road to take
She is
now.
currently the director of national intelligence.
Shit, they owe the high priestess money.
And she's very
They,
passionate about the
they don't know
work
which
that
road
she
to take
started
now.
to help folks in any way.
And see,
Once she got that new position,
it's the
she's not
end
allowed
for
to
them
raise
because
money
they done
or to really
stabbed the high
be a part
priestess
of
in the
this.
back.
So I took it over.
They
to be
done
able
lied to
and
them and
continue the
shit.
work that she started. Our initial response and our initial intention coming into Western North Carolina
Page
was the
of
immediate emergency
Pentacles.
response and getting supplies immediately to the folks who needed it. The longer that we were here, members of the community kept saying, we don't need another buddy heater, we need a house. And we heard over and over again, don't forget about us. So what we did very quickly is transition when we heard that the need was homes. We did not come in here intending to build. learned very quickly this is what was needed. And so we put a team together of local builders and contractors. And we started, initially we committed to building 5 new homes for
And I
families
also
whose
could
homes
look
were
at it
completely
like
destroyed.
this.
And right
I
now, we
also
have 10
could look
families
at it
with
like
homes
this. The
supported.
high priestess is toxic.
And actually water started going over the top of the bridge.
All they
And
want is
even
money.
large trees and everything else. And water actually ate
And
through
they're
the
held
rock that's
in
underneath
judgment.
this railroad and flooded the area behind us where it's a lower lying area where
Possibly
I
for
have a house
lying
that I
to
bought for my
the
daughter,
customer.
her fiance, my 2 grandsons live in. So that house was completely flooded.
So these are
They
toxic
made
high
an effort to
priestesses.
escape, but they got washed down the Toad River, and all 4 of them died. Luckily, all 4 bodies were found. We had a memorial service, and we're trying to move on from there.
Like I said, all they about is making that money.
Well, there's been
That's all they about,
very
making that money.
generous support of volunteers.
All about
coming to
that
the house,
dollar.
Also fundraising, especially through We Must Protect organization.
But it is the end
Raising funds. They're
of the
rebuilding
road
the
for
house
them.
on the property where the first
Either
house
the
was destroyed.
karmic
It's just been
or the high priestess
absolutely
or
amazing
both.
how much support we've gotten. We can always use more.
Switch it
But
around if
it
you
has
need
been very
to.
generous, and we've been very proud and very thankful.
Driving around these communities and talking to residents and
It
survivors,
could be a
it's
cancer.
become very clear that the need is growing and more aid
Trying to
groups need
balance
step
their
up.
lives out.
The
Keep their lives in balance. Also, Capricorn is on the board.
Forgotten them, and we're committed to not forgetting people. So we're going to keep the attention on it as much as we can.
Words can't even describe it. Like when you're on the ground, you see it in the news, but when you're on the ground, it is mind-blowing, the damage. And once you meet with the families and hear their stories,
A lot of more pinnacles on the board. But it's about the money.
To figure out this whole build process so that we can actually do something to help them. It's indescribable.
Stealing.
Just incredible. What an incredible story. In the meantime, step aside Bear Bryant. There's a new bear rolling in the side. Get the fun? The black bear was spotted taking an early morning swim. This in Guntherville, Alabama on Wednesday.
Things being delayed for them.
Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. Black bears can actually be seen all over the state and are excellent swimmers. No word yet on how
their investment, whatever they have invested in, is being delayed.
And the stamina that takes, I mean, he's pretty far out there.
He's way out there. Maybe looking for some fishies or something like that. Either way, roll tide. More Fox weather coming up right after this.
Money being delayed, material thing, it's being, whatever it is, it's being delayed, okay?
Longing for security. Right now, Long
I hate it
Fence
when the
offering
hair is
5%
out of place.
Fences, decks, and pavers. Contact Long Fence today.
I'm serious. I don't.
that targets inflammation.
Hey.
Key source right where you need it. Without
I gotta
steroids.
stop being perfect like that.
Nailed it. Imagine using one single cream to help clear skin
Okay,
and fix the itch.
King of Cups.
It's not imaginary.
Yeah, they in their feelings right now.
Opsilora is proven to help clear
They're
or
in
almost
their
clear skin
feelings
and
right
significantly reduce
now.
itch fast. Imagine that.
Opsilora can lower your ability to fight infections. Tell your doctor if you have or have an infection. TB, hepatitis B or C, blood clots in your legs or lungs, heart attack, stroke, cancer, high cholesterol, are a smoker or pregnant. Opsilora may cause serious lung infections, certain cancers, immune system problems, blood clots, and low blood cell counts. Major cardiovascular events or death occurred in those
We have the Ace of Wands.
The most common side effect was the common cold.
Ask your eczema specialist about reducing itch fast with Opsilora. Relief reimagined.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one.
A tower is hitting.
But there is another choice. Not stopping.
It's going down right now.
In the GMC Sierra.
That tower is hitting.
APR plus 2600 total
You're
value
losing
on the
out.
Sierra 1500
Shit
model.
is being delayed
Plus current
for you.
GMC owners get an additional
I'm right.
$3,000 purchase allowance.
Okay, hold up. Let me see. Clarifying life situation. Let me see what I'm gonna get with
Do it all with
this.
Steel Battery. Don't miss Steel deals. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hard-working Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or
Let me
shop
see what I
online.
can get out of here.
Sadly, windshield chips can turn into windshield cracks. But at least you can go to SafeLight.com and schedule a fix in minutes.
Sweet.
SafeLight can come to you for free. And our highly trained techs can replace your windshield right at your home. With flexible payment options, get it fixed now and pay later. Only at SafeLight.com.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
I'm hosting my first ever game show on purpose. We took 4 contestants and isolated them for 90 days. No phones, no TVs, no clue. Who knows what they missed? We
Okay,
did.
what I'm
They
getting
don't,
with
and
this
that's
card
the
right
point.
here.
What did I miss? Streaming now.
Welcome back to Fox Weather Command Weekend on the Fox Business Network. I'm Mike Glusman alongside Jay Menard, and you are looking at the sunrise in beautiful Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where current temperatures are at 54 degrees, and we're going to make a
I can't even read the I can't even read these cards. I don't have no light, so I'm gonna put these up. This is not what I want right here.
And Jane, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, city with some sunshine, and that sunshine is looking mighty beautiful.
My heart is full.
Oh, my heart is full.
And let's see what's going on right here.
Unfortunately, a bit of an update here for you. The Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival for 2025.
Or
It's been
rather
canceled,
than,
but the remainder of the
let me
festival
see.
has been. This comes after heavy rain and severe flooding yesterday. An ongoing severe weather alert was issued in Manchester, Tennessee, and the Bonnaroo team announced that on social media the festival would ultimately cease performances for the rest of the weekend as a precaution for safety. Rain has already settled in areas and made certain parts difficult to manage across the fields here in the stage. So the National Weather Service, they forecast that thunderstorms and steady rain is expected to produce
I use more than one tarot deck because it has different meanings.
To campers.
See my Hello Kitty?
Well, you might need a bigger boat for this one. The largest great white shark ever recorded has just shown up, and in the Atlantic, it's definitely caught our attention. This was off the coast of North Carolina.
Not what's
Wasn't
blocking.
the only shark spotted. A large basking shark, also seen in a pond
What
in
lies
Rhode Island.
beneath? I think I want those.
John Dodd, he joined us
What
now
is
as the executive director
what lies
for the
beneath
Atlantic
the
Shark
surface?
Institute. John, good to have you on this morning. Should we be nervous to see these
Y'all, I
sharks?
need some more rum. This is so
No,
frustrating.
actually, it's a really good size.
Okay.
Frankly, the shark that was in the top of Rhode Island is basking shark, and it's a wonderful shark. It's the filter feeder. It got 14 million views, but it's good to see these sharks because they're critical to ocean health and ocean balance. So, in many respects, the more the better.
Interesting. You know, it's
Sorry that it took so long,
the larger sharks
but
definitely had people nervous over the years. But
give me something on the judgment and the 9 of swords, please.
You know, I have to imagine migrating
Holy
off the coast
Spirit.
of Georgia and Florida up to the north. What creates that kind of migration?
Give me something on judgment and the 9 of swords.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's primarily temperature-based, water temperature-based. These sharks actually have a really wide temperature.
with the nine of cups underneath
So they're one of those
the
sharks that can be seen in a lot of places, but most of the migration we see this time of year, this particularly in spring and early
nine of
summer,
cups is
these sharks are
underneath
all
the high
moving
priestess.
north. The water's getting a little too
So
warm for a lot
that's
of these species.
wishes
They'll
and
all
hope.
move up, they'll settle in different places
So
along the
this
coast,
is what
inland
she was
further north. And
wishing
then as the water
and
starts to
hoping
cool,
for.
we're going to see a reverse
You know, she
migration
was
and
getting her
arrive,
wish,
depending upon
wishes met.
temperature preference, but typically now we see a big move up, and starting in September, October, we start seeing an equal shift south.
Secretly,
Interesting. I want to kind of tie this in. Obviously, talk about ocean temperatures.
Virgo
And, we're
could
headed
be
right into
involved.
hurricane season. So is it possible that reduced hurricane activity could also play a bit of a role in the migration patterns of these sharks, especially on the East Coast?
Was she
Yeah,
in partnership
hurricanes have an
with
interesting
somebody?
impact, right? Because they come in, and you know more about this than we do. But
I
they
did
have a
say
tendency to roll
clarify,
water over,
right?
turn water over. They'll move water into areas in
The
significant
judgment
amounts,
and the
significant numbers.
nine
So we can see
of
increases,
swords.
dramatic increases
So,
in water temperature. We can also see decreases. So most of these sharks are cold-blooded. 99% of sharks that swim around the ocean are cold-blooded, meaning they need to surround themselves with water that they can survive in and thrive
the
in.
Hermit
So when you have these significant water
and the
temperature
Two of
increases
Cups,
and decreases, which can take place with
maybe
hurricanes,
I'm
it can be
feeling
fairly
like
disruptive. So from a shark's perspective, we don't want any
she
hurricanes.
dreamt
From a
of
shark's
a
from a boater's
partnership,
perspective, we don't want any hurricanes. And if we don't, things stay pretty copacetic and pretty normal. But those big weather events can have a pretty big
or
impact.
she
Speaking of the tropics, but I also wanted to ask you this. We had a big old ridge of
asked
high
the
pressure
divine
last summer
about a
that was creating
partnership with
persistent
someone?
southeasterly wind, especially off the coast of New England and the Northeast yesterday off the Jersey, or last year off the Jersey Shore. So
Why is this?
conversation
Why is this hermit here?
were much colder later in the
Because
summer
she's
season.
being held
Not
in
so sure if that's going
judgment
to play out again
about a
this year. And in fact, the
partnership.
Northern Atlantic, it looks like we actually see some warming
Why
at
is
the
this
surface
hermit
there
here?
across the
She
northern
was
tier.
in a partnership. He or she was in a partnership with a Virgo.
Yeah, it's interesting because depending upon the shark species, some of
And
these species love to be right along the coast. So in some respects, they don't affect those very much. So the sharks that hug the coast,
she
there's
said
a juvenile
he or
white
she is
sharks,
being
sticky
held in
sharks,
judgment.
black tips. There's a variety of sharks, but as you get offshore,
And
you
because
start dealing with
they
they
are being held in judgment, whoever this is being held in judgment. You can't sleep at night and you're having nightmares. What in the hell did you do? Why are they held in judgment?
Because too warm of water, they're going to move away for it. If they don't like
okay.
it, it's too cool, they might move away, or it might attract them.
Burden.
Using folks like you and others, we keep a close eye
lessons you need to learn
of
some sort.
The sharks they're really looking to engage.
It is. It's interesting. Sometimes like finding a needle in a haystack, where the sharks can ultimately be. But contender tag, we'll see if he ends up on the Atlantic coast of Canada, or perhaps maybe off the Cape, right, where we've got all those seals waiting to kind of, I guess, fatten things up as we go through the summer season.
We got tens of thousands of seals in the Cape, tens of thousands of gray seals.
You did okay. I'm hearing you didn't learn your lesson.
All throughout Rhode Island. So for us, it's also
this is why you're being held.
We've already detected a number of white sharks, and we'll detect a lot
this
more.
is why you're being held in judgment. You didn't learn your lesson.
Thanks for coming on,
and
John.
what
we
lesson
really
is
your
that?
Insight from the Atlantic Shark Institute Executive Director John Dodd. Have a great morning.
What lesson is this? That they didn't learn. This person that is held in judgment. What lesson is this? Or I'm getting different.
Maybe some
okay.
Kind of afraid of that. There's not a great beach weekend in store for the Northeast. Unfortunately,
I am hearing lessons.
Pattern, and I know. It falls on a weekend. We are stuck here. There is some signs that it's going to switch.
You're being held in judgment.
Towards the end of the month of June. But in the meantime,
Oh.
now, it's not as if you wash out, but we've got to get creative with our timeline. There's a lot of moisture out there. And
So if you are a tarot reader, you may be asking for your soulmate or a partner,
watching those showers and storms closely. Things are still pretty quiet, but we could see some disruptions to our afternoon commute.
and you're not getting you're not getting an answer. You're having nightmares. You're being held in judgment because of your toxic ways.
And there's another area to watch where it has about a 40%
The
chance now.
way you are treating others,
Impacts of both of these features coming up.
and it's all about money. Tell me about this part. Tell me about the Two of Cups.
Today we're talking about the enhanced Fujita scale. The enhanced Fujita scale is
Tell me about the Two of Cups. Like I said, all you want is the dollar. All you want is the money. All you want is material things. Tell me about this Two of Cups. Maybe you have joined someone.
Minor damage occurs with the tornado of the lowest
High
wind
Priestess.
speeds up to 85 miles per hour.
Okay.
Some branches and some shingles could be blown off the roof.
You join partnership
and damage to mobile homes with wind speeds up to 100
with another High Priestess.
With EF2 ratings, extensive damage is observed.
Or
Roofs will be blown off, mobile homes will be destroyed, and wind speeds
two other High Priestesses.
135 miles per hour. On the high end of the scale, we have an EF3
or
winds up to
the person that you was in a relationship with, a guy.
To multi-level homes and large buildings.
Y'all pretended to be High
Homes
Priestesses.
and brick walls will collapse with wind speeds up to 200 miles per hour. Finally, the EF5 rating, the highest and most destructive on the EF.
And you took
towns unrecognizable with winds
other people for granted.
No matter
Yeah.
the rating, tornadoes can
You
bring
took other
damage,
people for granted.
heartbreak, and destruction anywhere in the United States. So make sure you download the Fox Weather app when severe weather is in your area to stay up to date with the latest information. Fox Weather, weather news.
So you were in, you and your partner,
Let's take a look at what's going on along the East Coast.
or whoever you involved,
and that's promoting
basically stole people's money. Both of you are toxic, and you are being held in judgment. This is a High Priestess.
Up into the south-facing shores of
So y'all giving false readings.
Not so much a beach weekend for the day today, but we will get the opportunity if you're there in Georgia, South Carolina. Moderate risk, Folly Beach, Isle of Palms, outside of Charleston. Burn time about 15 to 30 minutes.
Y'all getting money from people. Okay, so your communication is cut off. Straight up. You're not getting no kind of information. None.
Into the afternoon. Again, cloudy on the Jersey.
You're not getting none.
I'm Brian Norcross with a Hurricane HQ Minute on what happens if neither an El Nino nor a La Nina is going on in the Pacific. It's called a neutral pattern, which actually happens quite often. When
Your shit is being delayed. Now you're looking at things from a different point of view. That tower done hit. The tower done hit now.
The neutral category, when the ocean water is close to average. Hurricanes are much more likely to make landfall in the U.S. during La Nina years than El Nino, with neutral in the middle. But for the strongest storms, category 3 and above, we average one landfall a year when there's a La Nina, but only about one every 2 years.
Prince of Pentacles reverse.
Neutral years can be very busy or pretty quiet, so they're the hardest to predict. Find out how to stream us free at Fox.
You were stable. But things have been turned around for you.
Tomorrow is
turned around.
Wednesday, and it's looking like we could see some strong storms across parts of the country.
Wow.
Another unsettled forecast.
The devil
We're looking at
again.
folks picking out cards.
Because of your
Take this as a
toxicity,
reminder, if you haven't gotten your cards yet, you still have a little bit of time.
you're
That's a
losing.
reminder for myself.
Losing things.
Michael, as we go throughout this morning, overnighted, I don't know, quick jump to the CVS.
Anything else? One more card?
Tomorrow. It's mainly going to favor the East Coast for that better coverage, but I don't want to leave out the Northern Plains.
Okay, I'm going
because
to end
once
it
again,
right
across
there.
Montana into the Dakotas,
You
perhaps
all
even
have
later
a
in the
blessed day.
across Nebraska and into Kansas,
And I'll
we could
get
see
back
another
to you
unsettled
all
forecast.
with another
Temperatures
reading
on
later.
though. OKC, look at
Okay?
that, pushing 90
Bye.
degrees. If you've got